If you're feeling anxiety, overwhelm, stress, pressure, people aren't respecting you, your time, clients are canceling, they're leaving, you feel like you're not getting the level of consideration you feel you deserve for the work that you've done thus far. First of all, that's part of the energetic climate that we're in right now, coming out of this first 9 days of Leo, which have been so intense. We've got the Lionsgate portal opening tomorrow. And this right here, this right here, what we're all going through right here, this is the final test before manifestation. And if you give up now, you will always regret it. And we already know you're not doing that. So I wanted to walk you through a few things that we can do during this time. We've got the full moon happening tomorrow to lock in that feeling of certainty that it is all going to work out. And ever since I started learning Kabbalah, I will say it has been miracle after miracle after miracle, but not without its challenges. But one of the biggest things it's given me is like I always knew that things always get worse before they get better. I knew it on a physical, personal level, because the last time I was in jail, I was sitting there. I was there for 6 months, and I came to this realization. It was like, my dad had always told me what goes down must come up, or what goes up must come down. He was talking about me getting high, like it was never going to last. And I feel like maturing is realizing your parents were kind of right. But what I realized is, it was always like that for me. I would get arrested, get into some trouble. I would get my shit together for a moment, and then things would work out. I'll get to my last and final arrest. But first time I got a DUI, I was, I think, 18. I was on break from school. I was home. I was with my friends, and I'm sitting in jail. I had just crashed my car, and I was raised Buddhist. So I'm chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. I'm chanting so that I could be somewhere in a school, not in North Carolina anymore, where I didn't need my car, because now I didn't have a car. And within less than a week, once my mom got me out of jail, she made me work for her in her office as a chiropractor, because she was not going to leave me at home by myself anymore, because I'd been fucking around and find out. And so I had chanted for that while I was in jail, and I started looking for schools that had an international business program, right? And mind you, this was in August. So I'm searching for schools that had an international business program, and I find Loyola University in New Orleans, which I had gone to Tulane first. So Loyola's right across the street. I apply to the program. They call me the next day, give me a full ride to play the cello in their orchestra and the scholarship for the business program. Within that was on a Thursday. I flew down on Saturday. Classes started on Monday. And I would have never, ever, ever got into that situation had I not crashed my car. And then the final time I got arrested, it was a similar thing. I realized it's so bad right now, but it's about to get that much better, because you can't appreciate the ups without the downs. And that's what's actually creating space in your vessel for you to open up and receive, sustain, and hold the abundance that you've been calling in. And now is one of those times. Sorry, I digressed into my personal stories, but I feel like that's like a perfect example of this. And now that I'm learning Kabbalah, that's the whole game. Can you have certainty in the moments of fear and doubt and anxiety that everything is working out for your highest good? And what can we do to create more certainty beyond logic, so that we're not overcome by the emotions and just get dragged down by the weight of them and Mercury retrograde and what's going on? Like, not letting that run the show. And one of those things is prayer. And I grew up chanting, but I wasn't as familiar with prayer. But prayer is actually a technology that expands our vessel for divine light. And so the mantra that I'm using right now is, because when you pray, it's not that you're like, God, send me a client, give me money, give me this. It's not that, because the fulfillment of your desires already exists. You couldn't want it if it wasn't possible for you. Think about it. If you grew up on a deserted island and had never, ever, ever seen an iPhone before, would you go ask your mom for an iPhone? You couldn't, because you don't even know it exists. So the fact that you're dreaming about it and desiring it means it already exists. The fulfillment already comes before the desire, meaning in a parallel lifetime, parallel timeline right now, there is a version of you who is the epitome of light, success, happiness, and abundance. He, she already exists. And our only job is to do our spiritual, physical work to jump timelines, jump to our desired timeline. And one of the ways we can speed up the process is through prayer. So praying for certainty beyond logic. I pray for to create, create space in my vessel to receive what I have been asking for, to give me strength during this time. Only send me people that are going to elevate my consciousness, like change my algorithm. So even when I open up my social media, I'm only seeing people that are elevating my consciousness. So I'm not consuming, put a protective shield around me so people who are not here to elevate me, they don't even see me. Help me see how attractive I am on the inside and the outside so that I'm only attracting things that are for my highest good. Prayer isn't like a request to God. It's actually the mechanism that by us accepting that our ego, that we're not completely in charge of the show, that we need help to get where we want, because however bad it is right now is actually how good it's about to get. And when when we realize there is no way out of our current circumstances without a miracle, it's so bad. I don't know what I'm going to do for my health, my business, my clients, my meeting a partner. You can't even see your way out. Those desperate times are the perfect setup for the abundance that you are manifesting. And prayer locks us in to that certainty that speeds up the entire process. You want to slow down your miracles and make everything slower? Ask for no challenges. Don't ask for help. Live in constant doubt and fear that it's never going to work out for you. You want to speed up the process? Ask for certainty. Give me the strength to rise above my emotions, to be able to feel and release my emotions. One of the things I love, if you really want some just like cheap, fast, easy coaching, EFT. All day, girl. I'm walking around Croatia. I don't care what they think of me. I'm sure they think it's witchcraft, and I'm tapping. I am tapping away on everything. On everything, because the more emotions you have, like that are just going around and around and around and around, you're not focused, you're not in the present, you're doubting everything. That just slows down your process. So the mantra is, help me see that I am whole, that there is nothing I'm missing right now. I am healed. I am here. I'm ready for my soulmate. I love my soulmate. I am ready to meet my soulmate. Help me be attractive. Create this protective shield around my energy from toxic people. Send me good friends, good mentors, good content, everything that is for my highest good. Because really all we have to do is become like the creator, coming from a giving place. And there's three levels of giving. There's three levels of giving. So I started first, it's like the body level, physical needs. If you see someone on the street and you hand them, $1 or some food, let's say we just give him some food, that's giving on a body level. And that's good. That's like food, shelter, material support. That's good, but it's just physical. Then there's the mental and emotional level. This is creating community, friendships, providing emotional support. And then there's on the soul level, which is where you're sharing spiritual wisdom, you're elevating consciousness, you're helping build certainty. In the Zohar, which is the book of Kabbalah, where they're kind of breaking down the Bible, they say the greatest trait for a doctor to have is certainty. It's not their ability to diagnose and tell you what's wrong with you, because we all know you go to a doctor and you don't know what's going on with you, it can be really, really fucking stressful. And the best gift a doctor can give you when he's giving on a soul level is certainty that you're fine, that you're good. You guys ask me all the time, my clients ask me all the time, like, how do you think I'm doing? Do you think this is going to work out? Of course I do. Of course this is going to work out. I have no doubt in my mind. Whether you believe you can or believe you can't, you're right. And so, sure, I can teach you how to create content, build the business, set up the systems, create offers. And I love doing those things. That's kind of how I got my chops. But I'm now leaning more and more into the spiritual work that's underneath the surface that makes everything work, because we're only seeing 1% of what's actually going on. There is 99% of all of your manifestations and the things you want are happening in the spiritual realm. And everything happens in the spiritual realm first before it becomes physical. We're only seeing a very small fraction of it. And so I believe that it's my job to bridge these two, because I know if you're not seeing the results that you want in your business on the physical level, there's some kind of spiritual work or reasoning or process going on behind the scenes that you work on that, the results can't help but follow. So the two pathways for becoming like the creator, becoming like the light. The first one is coming from a giving place, which we just discussed. So body or physical level, the emotional, mental level, and then the soul level, which is the highest level. It elevates it's the highest level of giving. And the second one is transforming negativity. If you want there if you're in a dark room, you don't add darkness, you just add the light. If you want to make a room dark, you don't inject darkness, you just light a match, light a candle, open the window. The light is always there. It's always there and it's ready to be revealed. Darkness is nothing except a lack of light. So by transforming negativity, you're turning on the light. You're adding light, infusing light into the situation. One of the first ways to transform negativity that I'm recently becoming obsessed with, because I just feel like it's so helpful. The first one is identifying hidden agendas and manipulation. And this one can be really hard when you are a teacher, a coach, a healer, because if you're giving a talk, it's not just the content that you share in the talk, in the class. It's the consciousness behind it. And if you're always looking for validation and acceptance and respect, the content itself is going to land differently than if you're really genuinely coming from a giving place. You don't need anything from them, which this is the difference between giving and taking. One thing I used to do so much, and I didn't even recognize or understand that I was doing it, is the difference between giving and taking can be very nuanced, especially at the beginning. It's like you really, really, really want to help people. And so you're giving them all this information. Usually when people come to me, what they think the problem is rarely the problem. But if I come in and just bombard them with information that they don't have the vessel for, or they aren't able to receive, I'm actually taking from them, because I want them to feel like I know what I'm doing. And this was a big problem for me at the beginning. It was like I just wanted to give them all the tools immediately and thought that they would know what to do with them. But I realize now that's actually taking, because we haven't built the muscle, the capacity to be able to receive it. And so now I'm much more intentional about how much information, content, guidance I give, because I want to make sure it's received, that they're able to implement, that they can hold what it is I'm telling them. Does that make sense? So you could really want to be a giver, and give to somebody. But if there's a hidden agenda, you want them to like, validate, respect you, say that you're a great person, it cancels out the positive energy you were about to give. But, and also understand through all of this that I'm telling you, we are canceling out all of the negativity right now to the point that like your past is being erased. And had you never had any negativity, you'd actually not be at the level you're at now. So all of the negativity you've had, all the hidden agendas, all the doubts, fears, anxieties, when you lock into certainty and prayer, they're erased. And then it not only erases, but you're even higher than you would have been without it. So if you are noticing any of this in yourself, that's a great thing. Let's do an example. Let's say I go to a party and you see a guy there and he's really hot and you want him to like you and be attracted to you and say you're pretty and that, you know, he wants to take you out. It's like it changes how you would approach this person and like what you would say. So I might not even be, I'm not even really being genuine because it's like I want something back. I want something back from them. If you are looking for money, love, approval, attraction, and this is even true when it comes to sales. I actually had this example written down that's really good for when it comes to sales. That's part, you know, I've learned in Kabbalah is that if I'm on a sales call and I'm selling my mastermind one-on-one offer, right? I'm asked questions about where they are, where they want to be, what's blocking them, and they're like, fuck yeah, let's go. I want to hear about what you do. I give them the pitch, I tell them what it is. That whole time on the call, I am coming from a giving place. I have done my job. If you have something that's going to elevate someone and help them transform and get where they want to go, it is your duty to share that. You weren't given these gifts to hold them all to yourself. So if I know I have an offer that's going to help somebody and they're like a perfect client, I'm going to do my job and do everything I can to connect with them, understand their vision, what they want, what's blocking them. I tell them the product, they ask me the price, I tell them. And after that, I switch from being a giver to a receiver. We always want to be coming from a giving place, but the moment you tell them the price, it is out of your hands. And if you're looking to that person to be the one to give you what you want, you are already fucked up in the game. We never receive from someone else. The biggest block to your abundance is believing that your clients, boss, offers, other people are the ones paying you, when in reality, they are just vessels. So I tell them the price, it's out of my hands, and now I am receiving from the creator. If this person is meant to work with me, I'm meant to work with them, the creator will handle it. I don't need to worry about whether or not they're going to say yes, what they're going to think about me. I have done my job up until this point, and I release the outcome to the creator. It's not coming from a place of like trying to pressure, convince, manipulate, control anyone else, because that we're not in charge of that, because it's only us and the creator ever. It's only you and the creator. There's no one else. There's no one else. If it is meant to be, it will be. But switching this mindset from your receiving from other people versus receiving from the creator, because the creator always pays. It's always the creator who pays. And this has taken so much pressure off of myself when it comes to sales and my business. It's unbelievable, because I built this belief that if I have the vessel, I have done my physical and spiritual work to support the abundance I've been calling in. It doesn't matter where the money comes from. It always comes. And if it's not coming, there's something I am not doing to hold it. Kabbalah is the study of the vessel. It's not the study of the light. The light is just the light. The creator is just the creator. Kabbalah is the study of the vessel, and it all begins with your desire and ability to receive. If we have a bucket, we have a little bucket that I can pour water into, I hold it, it stays there, it's perfect. And then let's say I have a much bigger bucket, but it's got a ton of holes in it. And these are all your fears, your doubts, your anxieties, your uncertainty. But you're here in this bucket. You're like, just give me some more water. Give me water. I need water. I need money. It doesn't matter how much money you pour into that bucket. It's falling out. It's falling out. So our only job is to fix our vessel. Not fix, but expand our vessel so that we can receive it, knowing that we receive from the Creator and the Creator alone. So whenever you start to get from this place where you're like, I need this person to say yes, I need them to like me, instead of doing whatever you were about to do, just pause. Just pause and ask yourself, is this truly coming from a giving place, or am I looking to receive something from this person? And the way that we expand our vessel, the biggest way is we all have certain soul corrections, or tikkun. It literally translates into correction. It is hot in here. And tikkun are what creates all the little holes in your vessel. And some of the biggest tikkun I think we all have, or I know I have, is this need for approval, control, fear of abandonment, and some people have a fear of success, fear of failure. All of these things lead to creating holes in our bucket, so we're not able to receive what we want. So all we have to do is become aware of the things, the areas in our life where we're reactive, where we're trying to control, to convince anyone else to do anything, because it's only our work. It's only our work. And one of the best gifts you can give to anybody else is certainty. Like I talked about before, we are all spiritual doctors. When you can give someone the gift of certainty, reassurance that it's all going to work out, and you're not trying to get anything from them, so much light is revealed. And in the moments when the darkest, scariest moments are right before the magic happens. I give this example a lot, that building a business is like, it's like an airplane taking off or having a baby. It takes so much more power to get that airplane off the ground than it does to stay in the air. And to have a baby, like a physical human coming out of your body. And what we have to understand is, like, Abraham would always pray to the Creator. He did his physical work, his spiritual work, and he'd be like, help me do this. He couldn't have done all the things that he did, all the miracles, just on his own. And same thing with making a baby. Like, a man and a woman come together and a baby is made, but the woman's not her body's the one making the baby, but the Creator is the one to decide to bring the soul into the body. Like, we don't know how to do that. And it's very similar to building a business. There's so many unknowns and things that are out of our control. And it can be so easy to get caught up in the doubt, when in reality, all of this is paving the way for everything that you want 100% of the time. And if you give up before the magic happens, the work always works. The greatest light is revealed at that last 5%. If you go 95% physical work, 95% spiritual work, and then you're like, it's too hard, I can't do it, it's not going to work out for me, and you give up, that's when you have unlocked exponential growth at this last 5%. And that is where we are right now. It's right before the baby comes, right before the plane gets up in the air. And if you give up at this point, you give up all of the light that you'd revealed along the way in the spiritual realm, and you're not seeing it physically. All of that just disappears because you fell off and doubted yourself. But that's why we have free will. That's the purpose of free will. We came here to remove the bread of shame, to experience ourselves doing the work to see the results that we want in the 3D. Because if it was all just handed to us, if it was just perfectly handed here, you wouldn't enjoy it. It wouldn't be worth it. You wouldn't appreciate or be able to sustain it. We all hear about the lottery winners, they don't have the mindset or the vessel for that money, and they win the lottery. And it's so great for the first, let's say, 5 years. And within 5 years, most of them are broker than before, because they hadn't built the vessel to receive it. It was bread of shame. They received money that they hadn't earned. Same thing of a dad. Let's say he's a billionaire. He gives his daughter this beautiful multi-million dollar home. It's got a pool, a jacuzzi, it's on a golf course, and he gives her this home. She moves in. For the first 5 days, she's walking around. She's like, this pool is so nice. I love it. Look at my cabana. I've got this driveway. It's so long. I can see the golf course. And then after a week or a few weeks, she's like, I really wish I was on a beach. This pool is kind of small. She didn't earn it. So this time isn't about suppressing our negative emotions, acting like they don't exist, ignoring it. It's about conscious resistance to the instant, immediate gratification we get from sending the text, sending the angry email, scrolling on social media and looking at everyone doing better than us and judging ourselves. It's not about ignoring and distracting yourself with immediate gratification. It's about conscious resistance. When something uncomfortable happens, you get an email from a client, someone ghosts you, an offer flops, a launch flops. When these things happen, it's not about ignoring them. It's about consciously resisting the urge to act out from the place of ego, immediate gratification. And every time something scary or uncomfortable happens and you pause, maybe you do some EFT, some prayer, and you're not reactive, that expands your vessel, jumps timelines. Your current challenges are just an illusion. They're spiritual tests. And the bigger the test, the bigger the compliment, the more energy is trying to come through. Nothing is personal. It is all for the elevation of your soul. And access to the bigger picture only requires choosing certainty beyond logic. Logic is one of the lower realms. We're not looking at that. Certainty beyond logic. So our mantra right now is that everything is coming from the Creator and it is good and helping us transform. The more pressure I feel right now, the more light is trying to come through. You can fake happiness. You can fake it till you make it. That is jumping timelines. That's good. They say you can't, but you can. If you can have a shitty day for no reason, you can have a great day for no reason. Release yourself from this belief that I have to suffer in order to receive. I have to work hard. Like, it's not about not working hard, but it's about you. It's not just working hard. And if you believe that you have to suffer to succeed, that you're going to have to give up the life you want in order to create the abundance you desire, you're going to subconsciously block it. It's not about that. It's about giving yourself permission to feel whole and happy and successful and loved and attractive right now in your given circumstances, because it's just an illusion. It's just an illusion. And every time you choose logic beyond reason and certainty, it forgives all of the past negativity, debt, spiritual debts. It forgives all of it and transforms it into light. So we covered a lot today. Just to recap our key concepts, we learned about having certainty beyond logic. This is the ultimate spiritual quality. You can pray for certainty. The expansion of our vessel. Prayer and consciousness work as a technology to expand your vessel. We covered having hidden agendas, which is the secret energy killer in spiritual work. When you're giving, but from a taking place, from a wanting place, a manipulative place. We covered your soul correction and your tikkun. This is your personal spiritual curriculum. And everyone's is different, but we have a lot of things in common. We covered giving versus taking, and then seeing tests as gifts. So if this resonates with you and you're ready to master the spiritual side of business and lock into the 99% of the spiritual realm and see the translation in the physical realm, we would love to see you inside my free spiritual business school. That link is below. We are building something together, and I believe that the more money is in the hands of good people, the better the world is going to be. And you can and should want to make as much as humanly possible, because that's the level of impact you can have and deserve to have, because you deserve everything. You deserve everything. I love you so much. Let me know what's your biggest takeaway from this, and I will see you in the next one.